Hi, I'm Sue from How to Help My Child, and today we're going to talk about how to handle meltdowns with kids who have autism or ADHD without losing your cool. Now, meltdowns happen, whether it's because you're in a crowded grocery store or you're trying to run out the door just before school. Meltdowns can be inevitable. With your neurodiverse child, you're going to find that they're tough, both for your child and for yourself. But Mum, you're not alone in this, and it's not your fault. So today I'm going to share some simple but effective strategies to help you calm your child during a meltdown, to prevent any future overwhelm, and to take care of your well-being as a mum navigating life with a child who has autism or ADHD. So some of the things that we're going to talk about today are what triggers meltdowns, the tools to calm your child in the moment, and some self-care tips to prevent your mental health. So let's start with what are meltdowns and why do they happen? It's important to know, Mum, that a meltdown isn't bad behaviour. It's a sign that your child feels overwhelmed. For kids with autism, ASD or ADHD, their nervous system processes the world differently. Loud sounds, bright lights, transition, being overwhelmed, tired, or even hungry can just be too much, and their sensory system is overloaded. So some common triggers that you might find your child has. Emotional overload. You know, those big emotions where your child does not have the words to express themselves. Could be sensory overwhelm, the bright store lights, the noisy play dates, or even scratchy clothing. Tags are just dreadful. Could be anxiety in your child. Unpredictable routines or sudden change can cause havoc with our kids. And it could just simply be fatigue. Their body is tired, and so it's harder for them to self-regulate and to function. Now let me reassure you that meltdowns are not about manipulation. Instead, your child is stuck in survival mode and their brain needs safety to reset. So some things to do to calm your child during a meltdown. And this is really important. I've got how many steps? 6 steps to talk through. The first one is to start with calm energy. So your first job, Mum, is to stay calm. Now I know that's really hard, especially in a public meltdown. Can you just imagine, and you've probably already lived these, being out at the grocery store, you're in the middle of the supermarket and bang, your child's screaming, kicking, got their hands over their ears, they might have cocooned into a ball, but they're not happy and they're really struggling. And you get all the judges and the stares from the people around you. Quite easy for other people to judge based on a situation, but until those people have walked in your shoes, try and not to worry about them. So you need to work out that by being calm, that's going to help regulate your child's emotions. So the first thing that you need to do when your child has a meltdown is take 3 slow breaths before responding. It's like hitting the reset button for both you and your kiddo. The next thing you need to do is to lower the stimulation. Look around. What can you see might be overwhelming them? Is it the bright lights? Is there too much noise? Is there really overpowering smell and your child is very sensitive to smells? If you can work out what it is, try and move your child to a calmer spot, dim the lights, pop a hat on their head so they're not in their eyes. Do things to try and lower this stimulation. So if you're in the car, turn the radio down. If you're at home, offer them their noise-cancelling headphones or maybe even a weighted blanket or toy. So it's important to just reduce that stimulation. Now the third thing is to stop talking. I know. When your child's having a meltdown, all you want to do is talk, but stop it. It's far more important to say less and to show more. The first thing your child loses during a meltdown is their ability to hear and to process. So words can feel just like too much information during a meltdown. So instead of instead of explaining, point to a calm down chart. Give them a fidget tool, or actually use some signs. Stop. It's okay. Calm down. Hold your arms out for a hug if deep pressure hugs help them. They'll let you know. Now the fourth step is to let them lead. So encourage autonomy where possible. When your child is in the midst of a meltdown, work out what they're needing. Let them show you the lead. So if they're curled up in a ball and they're starting to rock backwards and forwards, they're trying to calm themselves down. There's too much going on around them. So offer options like their favourite sensory item, the quiet space, but don't follow it. Follow their cues and let them guide you if they are able to. The fifth thing is just a non-negotiable as a mum. You need to stay present without demanding. So sit down at your child's level. Stay near them so they know that they're not alone. But avoid over-talking. Avoid hovering or being in their space. You'll know if your child doesn't want you near them, they'll move away. They'll push you. Your child might want you just to give them the reassurance, and a hug is often what some of our children really need to resettle. Sometimes your steady presence, mum, is all that your child needs to feel safe again and to start resetting. Now, the important thing in number 6 is to give recovery time. So even after the meltdown has stopped, you will find that your neurodiverse child's body needs time to settle. It's been through quite a traumatic process, and their senses are just overwhelmed and exhausted. So keep things low-key afterwards. Soft voices, calm spaces, no sudden changes, and no big asks on your children. So there's 6 things that can help. But even before we get to a meltdown, how helpful would it be to know, mum, how to prevent meltdowns before they start? So I've got 5 tips to share on this for you so that we can start being preventive rather than reactive. So the first thing is to keep routines predictable. You know that our neurodiverse children love routine and structure. They thrive on the consistency. So tools like visual schedules, timers, daily rituals all help your children feel safe. So you might use a picture chart to show them their morning routine, or to set timers for transitions like turning off the iPad. Don't just force your child to transition from one to the other. Give them the time to prepare their body. And that's what number 2 is, to give transition warnings. Transitions are when we move from one activity to the next activity, and these are often one of the most common reactors of a meltdown. So they're very abrupt. Johnny, put your iPad away, it's dinner time, right now. Your child's not ready for that, and it causes a lot of chaos in their system. You're far better to prepare them ahead of time with some simple visual cues, verbal cues. So 5 more minutes, Johnny, and then it's time for dinner. You might even find that you utilize what they do at school. So you might play a transition song. It's time to switch from this to that. When they hear that song, they know it's their signal to move to whatever they need to do next. Works great for kids. The third thing you can do to prevent meltdowns with your child is to build in sensory breaks. Now, we know that our kids on the spectrum are often highly sensory. So don't wait for that overload to hit and the meltdown to just explode. Instead, offer sensory breaks throughout the day. Might be jumping on the trampoline, could be some deep body pressure like hugging a pillow, or even some quiet time in a calm down corner at home. They all tend to help when your child can regulate their sensory system. Number 4 to prevent meltdowns is to offer small choices. Let your child maintain control in what they're doing. So let them feel some of that control in the moments that matter to them. So simple choices and options. Do you want the green shirt or the blue shirt today? Can help reduce power struggles. The last thing to prevent meltdowns is to practice calm down strategies together. Teaching breathing techniques or using sensory tools like their fidgets before they melt down can really help calm their body. So practice with your child when things are calm, not in the height of a meltdown, but when they're in a good time. I call them a teachable moment. Have a teachable moment with your child when everything's going right, and have a practice using some of those breathing techniques. I've got a whole heap of them if you'd like to know them. Just let me know. All right, so it's really important to know what to do in a meltdown, but it's just as important to know what not to do. So Mum, let me teach you what to avoid in a meltdown. Do not raise your voice. It will only escalate your child's emotions. Remember, we've told you that meltdowns are not a controlled, naughty behavior. It's a sensory overwhelm. So it's really important that you use that to help restructure where they are. So don't be angry at them. Take 3 breaths, ground yourself, and then come in and sit with them. It's also really important to avoid shaming or punishing your child. They honestly cannot control their emotions and behaviors during a meltdown. So it's pointless to even try. Stop doing that. That's not okay. People are looking at us in the supermarket. They really are not able to do it. So don't embarrass them, don't shame them, and don't punish them. Meltdowns are not about being naughty. Remember, the third thing of what not to do is don't talk too much. Their brain can't process all of the words. So don't try to explain what they're doing. Don't try and redirect them. Just be with them and show them. Now, I've found this really helpful statement changes your opinion on so much. So instead of saying don't, try doing this. Your goal, Mum, is not to stop the meltdown. Your goal is to help your child feel safe. That mindset shift changes everything. Your child is not giving you a hard time, they are having a hard time. We've talked about a few things to do with meltdowns to stop them and prevent them, to catch them and what to do during the meltdown. We've talked about what not to do. But what we haven't talked about and what most people don't talk about is reality. It's so important, Mum, that your well-being matters too. It's hard work dealing with meltdowns. You're always on eggshells wondering, are they going to explode? Is there going to be a meltdown when we go to the supermarket? I just need to get yogurt for school. Can we just run in? Can we just run out? You will carry a lot of anxiety around as well. So your well-being is really important. Remember, you are doing so much, Mum, but you cannot pour from an empty cup. So you need to practice some self-care strategies. If you can get up 5 minutes before the kids wake up, have that moment to yourself just to reflect and allow that for your time. If you have children who sleep, once you get them to bed, have that time for yourself. Have a cup of tea. Just take a moment. Talk to a friend on the telephone. That's often lots of fun. But you can ask for help. If you have a partner or a friend or an online support group, you can ask for support and help with that. Don't journey this alone. We have a fabulous free Facebook group that's very private but has lots of great supporting mums in there that you're more than welcome to join. You need to practice compassion for yourself, Mum. This is one of the hardest things, and I know we put ourselves last on the list. But Mum, you're human and you're learning every day. You might not always get it right, but you do parent with love. And so give yourself some grace and allow yourself some space as you're learning to cope and find strategies for your neurodivergent child. Now, you really do have a lot of strength. So every time you stay calm, every small step you take to support your child, you're teaching them huge life skills and making a huge impact. You might not see it in the day-to-day walking of it, but when you can look back and reflect, you'll see what an amazing job you and your child are doing. So I want to encourage you that you've got this. And one of the most important parts of parenting our autistic and ADHD kids is to know that you are not alone. Thousands of mums around the world, just like you, are navigating life with neurodiverse children, and together we're creating a sense of support and understanding. So if today's tips gave you hope, you might like to grab my tantrum or meltdown guide and I'll send that to you to help. You might like to join our free Facebook group. Let me know, leave a comment and I'll send you the link through. But here's your encouragement for today, Mum. You are enough and you are doing far better than you think. So join me again when we talk some more about meltdowns with our kids, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.